listen, I'm here at the High Food Bank, and what we're doing here is we're raising money for this great cause. Look at all this food. They've got this thing called Walk the Line, right, where you walk around the borough, isn't it? And lots of people do it to raise money, but obviously with the whole lockdown, can't really do that. What we're gonna do, we're gonna get like a couple of treadmills, and we're gonna walk the same distance, but we're gonna walk it in a studio, and we're gonna try and raise as much money as we can. You listening out there?
It's the first time we've had someone or an organisation offer to come and do something for us. I think that's so exciting.
And I think it's a good idea to help other people.
I've had to use the food bank myself a few times and I'm really grateful for it.
So please donate. Hi and welcome along to AFTV. Looking forward and looking ahead to the game at the weekend. Arsenal taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers at the Emirates Stadium. Big game for us and big game for Wolves as well. And joining me today, I've got from Talking Wolves, Matt Cooper. How you doing, Matt?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. Thanks for having me on.
No, great to have you back, mate. Looking forward to the game. I think the last time we spoke, we managed to get one over you. Remember that?
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, I said in the preview we should be beating teams like Arsenal, and then you absolutely pasted us, dominated us. So I think I thought
I'd check in on you because after that I didn't hear from you again. So
yeah, I'd had a few beers as well, and I thought I'm just going to turn my phone off because I normally check the comments section. And I'm Talking Wolves' comments. It was full of your fans and your fanboys saying like, "Where's Matt? What's happened to Matt?" I was like, "Oh dear."
But no, you had to be fair. You had a right to be bold at that time because you guys were playing really well. Going into this game, I was looking at it the other day. I was like, it's a really even game because you're a point above us in the league. You've drawn your last two games, I think it is, including the other night. The draw you had against Southampton. What sort of shape are Wolves in this season? How have they been so far?
It's been such a weird season. I think starting off with the transfers, especially the outgoings. I think Jota and Doherty were probably the ones that people didn't expect to go. But if you'd have said to me at the start of the season, you'll start the season still with Neves, Jimenez, Traore, Cody, Bolly, and you lose Jota and Doherty, then I would have been really happy. I think because Jota's gone to Liverpool and done so well, it's some fans are saying, look, it's a wrong decision, it shouldn't have happened. But for the money, for 42.5 million, you can't complain when Jota wasn't starting for Wolves. It fell down the pecking order. And he's playing in a much better team now, much better side, so he's going to get more goals. But Wolves have been indifferent this season. Nowhere near as good as they were last season. I feel like in some aspects we've gone backwards, and maybe the philosophy's gone a bit stale. I get labelled as quite negative when it comes to Wolves, and I get that, but I don't really enjoy watching us play. It's all right when you're winning games, but when you're losing and drawing games, the style of football is pretty negative. Wolves fans just want to see us now take the handbrake off and have a go because we've got players there who can really hurt teams. And we saw that against Southampton the other night. That's the first time under Nuno we played a 4 at the back. Now, I'm not expecting that to carry on against Arsenal. I think he'll go back to the 5. But we've looked our most promising this season against Southampton in the 10 minutes. We played 4-4-2. Now, you wouldn't associate 4-4-2 with Nuno Espirito Santo, but it's been a weird season. And I think it's going to take till Christmas time before the league starts to normalise. I mean, you saw the results of like Villa and Liverpool, like 7-2. Like that would never ever happen in a pre-COVID world, would it?
You know what? You sound like an Arsenal fan. Everything you just said, right? Take the handbrake off, formation, team playing a bit negative. That's everything we've seen at Arsenal as well. That's why I say it's such a two similar teams at the moment. You know, what you said about there being top players, but you know, they haven't really been performing. It's literally been that with Arsenal as well. That, you know, we've sort of been playing this 3 at the back. That's been the preferred formation. Only 2 in midfield. It's been a bit negative. We've ground out results sometimes. But we haven't lit up trees either, Arsenal, this season. And that's why it's such an intriguing game. Are you gonna go like more attacking in this game, or do you think you'll stick to the sort of default setting, which is when Wolves go away from home, it's all about the counter attack, it's all about sitting and waiting to pounce?
I think it is going to be go back to the 3/5 at the back. Nuno had said at the start of this season he wanted to change things. He wanted more goals and more possession. And so far, we've scored less goals and had less possession, so it's not really working out. But I think with Cody back in the side, it's the first time he's missed a game in 100 and odd games because of COVID. He'll be back in, and I think that means we'll go back to a back five. I'd be very surprised if he stuck to the back four. But I think that's what it's going to be. Like Arsenal are, they're indifferent and that had a great start. They're in a transitional period, but it's still a good side. And it's still there's no fans. It's still a tough place to go. So I think Nuno will be on the edge of cautiousness. He always is. I think the first half will be shut up shop, keeping the game like it always seems to be. And then second half, we go there and we go for it. But we've got players who can hurt teams now. It's time for them to step up this season. Jimenez included. He's been really poor, even though he's got 4 goals. He's been not the same player, but there's too many players in the team at the minute, individuals who aren't playing to their utmost, and that might be due to the schedule or whatnot. But it's exciting because there's more to come. But for here and now, it's frustrating.
Yeah, listen, man, as I said, you sound like me at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like everything you're saying is what I've been saying about Arsenal. Very similar. We've got Aubameyang, who's been pretty poor this season as well. He's been well below what we expect of him, but then he's not really been getting the service. We've got other players that have not really been at it. It might come down to one of those games where it's lift off for one of the two teams, where one of those players step up, whether it be Aubameyang, whether it be Jimenez, whether it be a Traore, whether it be, on Arsenal's side, a Saka or somebody like that. Yeah. It's going to be one of those games that maybe it could be the time for one of those players to really shine.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Traore, compared to his form of last season, has been disappointing, but he's not had many minutes at all. Most of his appearances have been from the bench, and that's probably one of the reasons why he's not signed a new contract, because he's not happy with his playing time. And no one wants to be a super sub, but at the minute, that's all he is. And I'd imagine he scares the life out of most fullbacks. I mean, you lot are probably not, looking forward to facing an Adama Traore that's on his day, probably one of the best wingers in the league in terms of beating his man and getting the ball in the box. But he's got to start showing more in the opportunities that he's given. But it's going to be it's not going to be talked up. It'll be the three. It'll be Neto and Podence or Traore, and then Jimenez. Neto has played really well this season. He's still only a young lad, but he's got bags of ability and bags of potential. So I think he'll start, and I think we may see Traore from the start. He's got a massive point to prove. Last season he was phenomenal and by far and away my most favourite player, just because of the impact and the excitement he gives the team. When he gets on the ball, something's going to happen, and it's not quite happened for him this season. So, like you said, it might take someone to step up, whether that be Jimenez, Traore, or Aubameyang, and whoever wins could put a run together, because the games are coming thick and fast now over the festive period. It could be lift off for one of us, but considering we've had a relatively poor start to the season and Arsenal, we're still in the mix of like top 5, top 6, top 7. Yeah, I think we had the best start to a Premier League season we've ever had this season, and we were rubbish. And I think that just shows the calibre and quality of the league at the minute. It's just not great at all.
Yeah, it's up and down the league. It really is. And both of our descriptions of this game looks like it's got draw written all over it. And the last 2 times you guys have been to the Emirates has been a draw.
Yeah.
I think it just sounds like either a draw written all over it or a very tight game that's settled by just 1 or 2 goals. I don't expect this to be a goal fest.
No, I don't.
I don't know. You never know this season.
I don't think we've got it in us. We are even if we go 2-0 up, Nuno is so regimented and we build from the back, and if we don't concede, we won't lose a game. It's very much defensive minded. I've never seen us go 2 goals up and try and get more like you would see with Guardiola's side. It's like, right, let's try and get as many as they can. With Wolves, it's shut the shop. That's it. We park the bus, and it has cost us on some occasions where we've done that and we've let teams in. Watford in the FA Cup semi-final, the heartbreak there. But I think with Arteta's philosophy and Nuno's philosophy, I think it's going to be a bit of a chess match. And I think it's going to take 45, 60 minutes for Arsenal and Wolves to kind of figure each other out. And I think we'll see the last 30 minutes, we might see 2 or 3 goals. I think once tired legs and once we kind of figured out shape and stuff, then I think we could have a couple goals in the last 30 minutes.
Okay, listen, I'm looking forward to it. Give us your prediction, Matt.
Oh, God. Saying that, I'm never ever back against Wolves because it's not what I do. So I'm gonna say 2-1 Wolves. I'm gonna be positive, and I think Jimenez will get on the score sheet. He's due a goal, so yeah, I'm gonna say 2-1 Wolves.
I'm going the other way. I'm going a tight game, but I'm going 1-0 to Arsenal. Right,
1-0 to the Arsenal.
1-0 to the Arsenal, the old school line with Aubameyang finally coming to the party. He's got to show up soon.
Yeah.
And if we play him down the middle like what we attempted to do against Leeds before Pepe went and got himself stupidly sent off, you know, I don't know. I fancy him this weekend. So I think whatever way is going to be a really tight game. But Matt, thank you very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Look forward to the days when we're back at games and that, and then we can link up for a pint before the game or whatever.
Yeah, whenever that'll be.
It is what it is at the moment, man. But no, thank you very much. Really appreciate it.
That's all right. Take care, Robbie.
Sorry, just before you go, tell them about your channel.
Yeah, if you want to follow any Wolves fans, should know who we are by now. But Talking Wolves across Instagram, all socials, YouTube, the lot, and it's talkingwolves.co.uk for all our editorial content. And yeah, you can find me on Twitter at mcooperwrites, writes as in written.
Oh, sorry. Say that last bit again. Find you on Twitter at where?
You can find me on Twitter, Matt Cooper. It's at mcooperwrites, and writes is in written, WR. Okay.
Okay, brilliant. Matt, thank you very much.
Pleasure, fella. Speak to you soon.